first stepped into this role of full-time artist, I dreamed that my days would be spent making art. But I quickly learned that being a small business owner means that you have to wear so many hats, and you are not always creating. Oftentimes you are your marketer and your shipping department and your website developer. I mean, so many different things go into building this artist life. And this week is like many others. Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a full-time artist here in New York City, and on this channel I share my art and inspiration and small business ownership and just life in the city. I have a home studio here in my Brooklyn apartment, and if that sounds like something that you're into, I am truly so thrilled that you're here. This week, although there was not much art making, there were many things happening behind the scenes, and I would love to take you along as I finally get this wonderful collection framed and up on my wall, and I packed some orders, and I updated my website, and I got into Harlem, and I went to Southern California for the first time. I mean, this really was a very, very full time. And since we have so much to do, let's just get into it. So this collection, The Great Creating, I know I've mentioned it several times. It truly is a labor of love, and it is a collection that I have immense joy and pride in. It is definitely centered around that idea of not just finding your thread and pulling it, right, and dismantling those systems of oppression, but in finding your thread and daring to weave that new quilt for society, daring to quilt those new squares that will build a society that is focused on community care and the fullness of our existence and liberation and freedom and joy. And I dream of someday having quite a large collection of these quilt squares where I can give back to a variety of organizations through their creation and also then sharing with others. But I also have a vision of creating some very large quilt squares that I haven't quite yet wrapped my brain around, but I am currently in the ideation phase for. And so as I decide to undertake one of those, I'll definitely bring you along. But it was just really nice to get these framed and up on the wall, because I do envision this work in a gallery setting someday. And I know that it's not something that may happen tomorrow, but I do think that creating spaces where you can envision and ways in which your work may be engaged with is really inspiring and truly helpful while you're on this journey of creating the life of an artist. Alright, now I need to find nails. We have some. I think we have enough. We used to have like 3 shelves on this wall and then one above. So 3 shelves like here and then one above this right here. But with the shelves behind the couch, it just started to feel like way too many shelves. I mean, we have really tall ceilings, so like the storage was good, but let's go find the nails and let's get these hung up, and then I gotta get out the door and I gotta get up to Harlem. But I think I can get it all in. So let's get this done. I'm just using those holes as a guide because we already measured and leveled it for the shells. So I'm kind of cheating. Work smarter, not harder. Works. I can't tell if they're too like far apart. Maybe I want them to be like a little bit closer together, but that's an easy fix. Yeah, I think I do think I'm gonna put them a little bit closer, but I think this works for now, and I've never seen them hung, and I think they're really, really cute. I don't know. I'm really proud of this collection. It means a lot to me. And I think just moving them in like 1 inch on each side, just so it's a little bit tighter in the middle, and I'll be like perfectly happy. But it is 2:30-ish, and I need to get up to Harlem, and I just really want to spend some time up in the northern part of Central Park for a minute, and then get on up to 145th for a minute. I don't know how long any of this is going to take. I'm terrible at guesstimating time. I might get there late, I might get there really, really early, but let's get going. Let's get up to Harlem and spend some time in a neighborhood that just was extremely pivotal in shaping me into who I am, and I have immense love for, and reconnecting with the community that absolutely 100% made me who I am. So let's get going. I'm glad I got this done. I do think it looks really cute. I cannot wait to make some more of these quilt squares. Yeah. All right, it's time for Harlem. Let's get going. As I made my way into Harlem, I was just thinking about how much time I spent in this part of Central Park. We didn't have windows in our classroom, which was a great challenge. I really made an effort to get out into the streets and to just experience the seasons and the sunshine. And I mean, even on my walks to grab lunch throughout that decade, this little corner of Central Park really just carried me through so much of life. And it is an area that I will always hold an immense amount of gratitude for. And I sat in the conservatory garden for so many afternoons, and it's just a really stunning little nook in Central Park. So I was a little disappointed to see that it's under construction, but you know, on the flip side of that, perhaps it's something to look forward to in the fall. So my school is having an alumni night, and I'm going to go up to Harlem. I'm in Harlem to go to this event, and I found this old black shirt in the back of my drawer earlier this week, and I never wear real bras. I just wear straps of fabric because I'm always home and it's comfortable, but I put in some effort and I actually put on a real bra today, and I put on this black shirt that I found that I haven't worn in years, and I just realized that it's see-through. And I'm going to a school full of children, and now I'm debating on if I should just go home or if I should actually go up there. But everybody's been smiling a lot today, and I thought they were just being really friendly. I thought everybody was just being really nice. It's a beautiful day in the city. I think I've been giving everybody a show. I think this is also what I get for never leaving the house. And another thing that I really love about the northern part of Central Park is how when you really get into it, it feels like you're transported to a completely different place. I mean, the woods here are so deep and thick, and there are all of these waterfalls, and it's truly just this serene little area that I appreciate so much. got home, I ended up going. I had a name tag and my bag, but I also don't know if it was like as bad as I thought it was, but you know, I'm used to certain dress codes for teaching and a very different dress code for Brooklyn living. But I taught for almost 16 years, and I was at my last school for nearly a decade. And I know a lot of you know, but I know that some of you don't know that I had a stroke, and this half of my face kind of, and that's why I left mid-year 2022. And it was so wonderful to see our families. I love our community up in Harlem. Like, my family's up there. We're just like forever so special to me. And I am 100% a vastly different person because of my time in Harlem. And all I can hope is that through my time in the classroom, I made some sort of an impact on a few little ones. But it's wild to think that my first year, like very first year in St. Louis, those kids are 27, 28, which is absolutely mind-boggling. And I got to see some of my kids who are going to be freshmen in college next year. But anyways, I typically just am here in my apartment working a lot. And I went from getting so many hugs every day to now 0 hugs. I mean, I hug Mario, but you know what I'm saying. And it's always just so affirming to get up there and to see the little ones that are not so little, and to have like a yearly quota of hugs met in 2 hours time. But I'm glad I did not let a semi see-through in the direct sunlight shirt dissuade me from going up there. Because I'm really glad that I went. And it's also really cool to just, I don't know, every time I turn around, I find that I am like more healed than I thought I was. You know, I'm always like, now I'm done. Like, I've reached this pinnacle of healing. And then something else happens and I'm like, oh, actually, this feels even better than before. So if you are on some sort of a healing journey of your own, know that it takes a lot of time. I heard that for burnout, when I first left, I heard burnout takes between 2 and 5 years. And I remember thinking that there was absolutely no way that was possible, that was true. And I am just over 2 years, and I can absolutely see how that's true. So I don't know, I'm sending you all that's good tonight. I had several orders that I needed to pack this week, and I was just so truly thankful. I know any small business owners out there know just how important and special orders are. I mean, it just never gets old when something that I've created with my hands goes from my apartment into one of your homes. And so I spent quite a bit of time packing these 3 orders. I had one order with 5 of my pre-made portraits, which is truly something, and I am so grateful. If I could give one piece of advice to anyone who is just starting out on this entrepreneurial, small business, perhaps art business journey, don't include frames. I mean, I definitely think that there's something to including a frame with a commission, and it really wraps it up, and it finalizes the piece so nicely. But for these pre-made portraits, I spend so much time cleaning frames. And when I tell you I grossly underestimated what a commitment it would be, but you know, I started offering frames when I started offering these portraits because I think they ship nicer and it pulls the whole thing together. So ultimately I am glad that I offer, you know, these final framed pieces. However, if I had to do it again, I think I would come up with a different solution, just because, I mean, the Windex and the paper towels, and it'll easily take me 10 minutes to clean a frame and get it into like a spot where there's no dust or nothing. And it is a commitment. So if you can find a different way to package your artwork, I would encourage you to explore that path. This week, I also had a virtual meetup with my art accountability partner, Hollis. I know I mentioned her in a previous video. She's a full-time artist in San Francisco, and I think it's really important that you find your community however you can. And this week, you know, we spent some time talking about our small businesses and our art practice and just offering advice and support, and it is an invaluable relationship. This week, we spent some time talking about those multiple hats that you wear as an entrepreneur, and it helped me to kind of wrap my brain around how to set myself up to feel the most successful and to stay the most encouraged. And I'm just always so grateful for any amount of time that I get to talk with her. And I don't know, like teaching was the same way, and I don't know if that helps, where it's like, it's never done. That's it. It'll all get done when it needs to get done. And then as much as you can, like, did you get done what you needed to get done today? You know, or did you at least get part of what you needed to get done? Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but I'm like, oh, I'll be able to do all of this today. And it's like, I do a third of it. And I like work 12 hours and I'm like, I only got a third of it done? Yeah. But I also wonder if that adds to the anxiety. Because we create these really long lists of things that need to get done, and then when we don't get it done, it's like, oh damn, I didn't get that done. And it's like, but realistically, you weren't gonna get that done. And so what that did is then it like places this like sense of urgency, which is not appropriate, or sense of failure, which is also not appropriate, where it's like, I've tried to be, and I know we talked about this a little bit the last time we met, but like really intentional with like what I put on my list for the day. You know, and I feel like this last month I really was just like, get the apartment done. And then you're gonna like really just go all in and build. You know what I'm saying? But like being really thoughtful with like, okay, here are 3 things that I can do today. Like 1 big one, 2 small ones. And then if I do other things, I'll add it to the list and then I'll cross it out. You know, like, oh, I did that too. You know what I'm saying? But like, because I'm like, I can add it and then I can still cross it so that I can see that I did it. But I don't want to set myself up with 20 things when I know maybe I'll get to 7, or maybe I'll get to 5, or maybe it'll just be 1. But then at the end of the day, if I still have all of that, then it like increases that like, you know. And so I do think that there's something to that, where it's like, maybe it's being more realistic with what we can get done within a certain time frame, and setting our mind to like, here's what I'm doing now. And I know that I have those other things that need to get done, but that's for future us, because right now this is it. And then tomorrow it's the next thing. But I got done what I needed to get done. But I think it's for me because you know, I'm so tactile. I have like a digital thing, but then I write it out too, so I can like cross it off. And I will write the same tasks 30 times. I'm like, this is so annoying.
Like, why for the last month have I been telling myself to choose pink colors? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid, but that adds to this, like, oh shit, you know? And then you're like, what am I even getting done? And it's like, actually doing a lot, right?
This week I found that I needed to update my website because I had a request from a very dear returning client for a quite large commission. I have up to 6 people in a portrait currently listed on my website, but I've had a few requests for 8 or more people, and I usually just do like a custom listing for those. But since it has been something that's come up a few times, I need to add that to my shop options. And I also want to spend a little bit of time updating my portfolio because it's been a second since I've added what I've created since December. And so let's get into it and let's get this website up to date and let's get it in a good place so that when people arrive at my website, they may find exactly what it is that they're looking for. When I first moved to New York, I flew by myself all of the time between here and St. Louis, and that was like no big deal. I had all of this courage, and the last time I flew by myself was in 2019 when my dad died, and I left my wallet here, and I got to the airport in the cab, and I had no way to pay the cab driver. Luckily, I was meeting my sister, and so we were able to like figure out the hotel, etc. But I think that has me a little anxious because I am flying by myself today to go meet my little sister. And if you've got any of that good energy to share, send it my way, because I don't know why I'm so psyched out about this, but I think it's a good challenge, if you will. I just want to thank you for all of your good energy, because I made it to where I needed to go and there were no issues, and I had my wallet and I had everything that I needed. And so all of that anxiety was for naught, but also perhaps because of a harder lesson learned. But yeah, I'm in LA for the week with my little sister, and I've never been to LA before, and Mario and I are watching 90210 from the beginning, and I think we just started season 4 or 5, and I did not know
Okay, this is connected because I had been saying maybe I should go to Southern California because they make it look so enticing on 90210. Like, I'm totally sold on this lifestyle because of this 1990s television show that I watched partly sometimes when I was growing up, but it's been really fun to revisit. So I had mentioned maybe someday I would like to go to Southern California because Dylan and Brenda make it look so nice. And I am here helping my sister with my nephew for the week, which is really wonderful. Back to 90210. I did not remember that Brenda left. She left, I think, after season 4. And the start of Tiffany Amber Thiessen joining the cast feels very jolting. I definitely was like gasping because I was ill prepared. I was not prepared at all. And I remember all the rumors about Shannon Doherty in the 90s, and so I didn't know if I was going to enjoy her character, and I really loved her character. So anyways, bring back Brenda. And I'm gonna get some of my 90210 energy out, hopefully within the next few days.
And so let's get to California. I have never been to Southern California before. I've only been to California one time. About 20 years ago, I spent a week in San Francisco. It was lovely and it was cold. I left like 105 degrees in Missouri, no AC, and I ended up having to buy sweaters in August in San Francisco. So I have some really fond memories of my time there. But Southern California was a whole other vibe, and the plant life there was unlike any that I'd ever seen before. And I know I've mentioned this in a previous video, I love the ocean. And so anytime I get to spend some time next to the ocean, I am just over the moon. And so it was really, really lovely to get to LA and to Santa Monica, just to spend a little bit of time outside of New York City and to just, I don't know, return refreshed, ready to build. And for as long as I can remember, anytime I need a little extra oomph in life, I find myself singing Sheryl Crow's All I Want to Do. And so finding Santa Monica Boulevard was definitely a highlight of the trip. But you know, that is no longer the only song that I have in my head at this moment about Santa Monica, and I have been singing Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club incessantly. I don't know if anybody else has that as an earworm at the moment, but let me know because I just cannot get enough of her. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you. I truly understand how valuable time is. So the fact that you spent your time with me is a tremendous honor. And if you found any enjoyment or value in this video, I would be truly honored if you gave it a thumbs up. That helps YouTube know to send it out to other people who might also find enjoyment or value. And if you would like to follow along as I rebuild after a tremendous case of burnout to build a life of a full-time artist here in New York City, I would be honored if you subscribed. We have a very small but growing community here, and I am just so thrilled that each and every one of you are here. And I cannot wait until I get to know who you are in the comments as we continue to build our community. And with all of that said, I hope that whatever time of day you've watched this, it's been a kind one. Until next time.